Darkseid. Across multiple DC universes, from the New Earth timeline to Prime Earth, he is the absolute ruler of Apocalypse, born as Uxas, and Darkseid has only one goal: eliminating free will from the universe and forcing every living being to obey him. And honestly, the terrifying part is that he comes closer to succeeding than almost any villain in DC history. Thousands of years before modern heroes even exist, a younger Darkseid leads a massive invasion of Earth. Armies of parademons pour through boom tubes, while Darkseid personally tears through battlefields with his Omega beams. At first, victory seems inevitable, but then humans, Amazons, Atlanteans, old gods like Zeus and Ares, and even a Green Lantern unite against him. This battle becomes so brutal that Darkseid is nearly killed and forced to retreat from Earth. During this attempt, he discovers something called anti-life equation. As its name suggests, this thing is capable of erasing free will from the universe, and from that moment on, Earth becomes his ultimate target. Years later, Darkseid's plans take a more personal turn during the events of Superman/Batman Apocalypse. A Kryptonian girl named Kara Zor-El arrives on Earth, and Darkseid immediately recognizes her potential. He kidnaps her and transports her to Apocalypse, where he uses mind control technology and psychological conditioning to transform her into the newest leader of his female Furies, with the help of Granny Goodness. Meanwhile, Superman, Batman, Wonder Woman, and Big Barda launch a rescue mission. Batman eventually confronts Darkseid directly inside his throne room. Despite being beaten nearly to death, Batman reveals he has secretly reprogrammed Apocalypse's hell spores and can destroy the entire planet. Surprisingly, Darkseid accepts the deal and releases Kara. But wait, he immediately finds a loophole. He attacks Superman at the Kent farm because Earth was never part of the agreement. The fight is devastating. Darkseid overwhelms Superman, blasts him into space, and nearly wins. Eventually, Supergirl turns Darkseid's own mother box against him, opening a boom tube that leaves the ruler of Apocalypse stranded deep in space. That brings us to Justice League Dark, Apocalypse War, where Darkseid finally achieves what he has wanted for centuries. Justice League launches a direct assault on Apocalypse, believing they can stop him before he attacks Earth. Little do they know Darkseid has been spying on them through Cyborg all along. Waiting for them is his deadliest creation, the Paradooms, monstrous hybrids of Doomsday and Parademons. The attack becomes a massacre. Heroes are torn apart within minutes. Many die instantly, while others are captured and transformed into cybernetic slaves. Trigon. In the Prime Earth timeline, a group of cosmic beings known as the Divine travel from world to world using an artifact called the Heart of Darkness, a weapon designed to remove evil from existence. Eventually, they arrive on a corrupted world where they encounter a powerful being who would become Trigon. Confident in their mission, they unleash the Heart of Darkness against him. Instead of being destroyed, Trigon does the impossible. He absorbs the artifact and consumes the collected evil of hundreds of galaxies. In a single moment, he becomes something far worse than anyone imagined. Then he murders the Divine, reveals they were his own parents, and even wears their skin as a trophy. From there, Trigon begins a campaign of conquest across the multiverse. World after world falls before him. Kingdoms become wastelands. Entire civilizations are enslaved or destroyed. But eventually, ruling planets is no longer enough. Trigon wants to spread his evil even further, so he starts abducting women from countless worlds and forcing them to bear his children. Most die during pregnancy. Others take their own lives rather than give birth to his offspring. For centuries, none of his plans produce the perfect heir he desires. Then everything changes when he caught a human woman from Earth named Arella. Trigon deceives her, seduces her, and eventually they had a daughter. That child is Raven. Unlike his previous children, Raven becomes something special. She inherits immense power, but also possesses compassion and self-control. Fearing what her father will do to her, Arella escapes with Raven to the peaceful dimension of Azarath. There, Raven grows up hidden from Trigon's reach, but Trigon never forgets her. When Raven reaches adulthood, she senses her father's return approaching. She seeks help from Earth's heroes, leading to the formation of the Teen Titans. Together they face Trigon as he attempts to invade reality itself. His powers are nearly impossible to measure. He possesses possesses cosmic awareness, telepathy, telekinesis, reality manipulation, dimensional travel, immortality, regeneration, mind control, shape-shifting, and magical abilities powerful enough to threaten universes. Even beings like the Phantom Stranger and the Spectre have treated him as a serious threat. Even after countless defeats, Trigon remains one of the most dangerous entities in DC history. Spectre was an angel named Aztar. During Lucifer's rebellion against heaven, Aztar sided with the fallen angels. When the rebellion failed, he sought forgiveness, but mercy came with a price. Instead of being destroyed, Aztar was transformed into the embodiment of divine vengeance. Over time, the Spectre's rage became so overwhelming that it needed to be restrained. To keep his judgment from becoming absolute destruction, he was bonded to human hosts. The most famous of these was Detective Jim Corrigan, a murdered police officer whose soul became the vessel for God's wrath. Unlike most heroes, the Spectre does not fight crime. He passes judgment. Criminals, murderers, demons, and even cosmic beings have all faced his punishment, and those punishments are often terrifying. The Spectre has transformed people into objects, erased beings from existence, and condemned souls with a single thought. His greatest feats place him among the strongest entities in DC. He has resisted the power of Zeus, neutralized Darkseid's Omega beams, shattered the Source Wall, and even killed Darkseid himself. During Crisis on Infinite Earths, his battle against the Anti-Monitor unleashed enough power to affect all space and time, helping reshape the entire DC universe. Anti-Monitor. In older DC stories, a scientist named Krona tried to witness the creation of the universe. His forbidden experiment shattered reality and helped create the multiverse, along with a dark, opposite universe made of antimatter. From this antimatter universe, the Anti-Monitor was born. At the same time, his counterpart, the Monitor, was born in the positive matter universe. The two cosmic beings eventually discovered each other and fought a war that lasted for 1,000,000 years before both fell into a long sleep. Billions of years later, the Anti-Monitor awakened and began his mission to destroy all existence. His goal was simple: wipe out every universe and become the only power left. This led to the famous Crisis on Infinite Earths event. The Anti-Monitor unleashed massive waves of antimatter that erased countless universes from existence. Entire worlds disappeared and trillions of lives were lost. During this crisis, heroes from across the multiverse united against him. Even then, stopping him required enormous sacrifices, including the death of Supergirl. Eventually, the combined efforts of many heroes finally defeated the Cosmic Destroyer. Years later, DC expanded his origin. It was revealed that the Anti-Monitor was originally a cosmic being named Mobius, one of 3 brothers created by the powerful 6th dimension goddess Perpetua. His brothers were the Monitor and the World Forger. Mobius guarded the antimatter universe for billions of years, but after looking too deeply into the secrets of creation and coming into contact with the anti-life equation, he was transformed into the Anti-Monitor. The Anti-Monitor can manipulate antimatter, destroy universes, alter reality, absorb energy, grow to gigantic sizes, and battle some of DC's strongest beings. He has defeated armies of superheroes, overwhelmed powerful Lantern Corps, and even killed Darkseid in battle. Mr. Mxyzptlk. He comes from the 5th dimension, a realm that exists beyond normal space and time. Because of this, the laws of physics that control our universe simply don't apply to him. To Mxyzptlk, reality is basically a toy. He can change matter, alter time, rewrite history, create entire worlds, and do almost anything he can imagine. Originally, he was introduced as a magical trickster who traveled to Earth just for fun. He wasn't interested in conquering the world or destroying it. Instead, he loved causing chaos and embarrassing Superman with ridiculous pranks. Over the years, Mxyzptlk became famous for one weakness. If he says or writes his name backwards, he is forced back to the 5th dimension. Because of this, Superman constantly tries to trick him into saying KLTPP Zixum. In some modern DC comic stories, particularly following the continuity changes after the New 52 Mister, he is portrayed as the Royal Magician or Court Trickster, serving King BRGPXZ, the ruler of the 5th dimension. But to entertain the king, he used to travels Earth and creates challenges for Superman. Despite all the different versions, one thing always remains the same. He is obsessed with Superman. In fact, many stories show that he secretly admires the Man of Steel. Most of his attacks are really just games. He wants Superman's attention more than he wants victory. His power level is so extreme that when the Joker once stole almost all of his abilities, he reshaped the entire universe into a nightmare world and easily defeated some of DC's strongest cosmic beings like Darkseid and the Spectre. Endless. At the head of the family family is destiny. He represents the path of all things. Every event that has happened, is happening, or will happen, is recorded in his endless book. Next comes Death, one of the most beloved characters in DC. Despite her job, she's kind, calm, and compassionate. Every living thing meets death twice, once at birth and once at the end. When the universe finally reaches its last moment, Death will be the final being left standing before she closes the door on existence itself. Then there is Dream, also known as Morpheus or the Sandman. He rules over dreams, nightmares, imagination, and stories. Every dream you've ever had belongs to his realm. Dream is one of the most powerful members of the Endless because imagination shapes reality itself. After Dream comes Destruction. He represents change, endings, and transformation. Unlike the others, Destruction abandoned his duties long ago. He realized that living beings were already creating and destroying things on their own, so he chose freedom instead of responsibility. The youngest members of the family are Desire and Despair. Desire embodies every ambition, temptation, and obsession that drives people forward. Wherever someone wants something, Desire is present. Despair is the opposite side of that coin. She represents hopelessness, loss, and suffering. Together, the two influence countless lives across the universe. Finally, there is Delirium. Long ago, she was known as Delight, but something mysterious changed her forever. Now she represents chaos, confusion, madness, and unpredictable thought. No one knows exactly what happened to her, making her one of the greatest mysteries in DC history. Parallax. For decades, Hal Jordan was one of Earth's greatest heroes. As a Green Lantern, he protected countless worlds using a power ring fueled by willpower. But everything changed when the villain Mongol destroyed Coast City, Hal's hometown, killing millions of people, including everyone he loved. Unable to accept the loss, Hal used his Green Lantern ring to recreate the city and its people. The Guardians of the Universe, the leaders of the Green Lantern Corps, told him this was forbidden. Instead of helping him, they demanded he stand trial. That was the breaking point. Driven by grief and rage, Hal attacked his fellow Green Lanterns, defeated anyone who stood in his way, and reached the central power battery on Oa, the source of the Corps' power. After absorbing its energy, he emerged as a new being called Parallax. At the time, fans believed Hal had simply gone insane. As Parallax, he became one of the most dangerous beings in DC history. He attempted to rewrite reality itself, hoping to erase his mistakes and create a better universe where Coast City had never been destroyed. This led to the event 0 Hour, where entire timelines began collapsing as Parallax tried to reshape existence according to his vision. Although the heroes stopped him, the damage was done. Hal Jordan had fallen. Years later, however, DC revealed a shocking truth. Hal had never truly become evil on his own. Hidden inside the Green Lantern's central power battery was an ancient cosmic entity called Parallax. Born from the emotion of fear itself, Parallax was the living embodiment of terror. For billions of years, it had been imprisoned by the Guardians. Necron. For years, Necron remained a distant force lurking beyond the living universe. His first major attempt to enter reality came when he manipulated the ancient scientist Krona by using armies of the dead and attacking the Guardians of the Universe. Necron hoped to break the barrier, separating life from death. He came close, but the Green Lantern Corps stopped him before he could fully cross over. After that defeat, Necron faded into the shadows, but he never disappeared. While the heroes of Earth fought their endless battles, Necron waited. Every fallen hero, every dead villain, every life that ended only strengthened his connection to existence. Death was always growing, and so was he. Then came the prophecy of the Blackest Night. Across the universe, the different Lantern Corps represented emotions: willpower, fear, hope, rage, love, compassion, greed. Together, they formed the emotional spectrum, the energy of life itself. But Necron represented the opposite. He represented the darkness beyond life. When the Black Lantern power battery awakened, Necron finally made his move. The dead began to rise. Heroes, villains, friends, family. Martian Manhunter returned. Aquaman returned. Firestorm returned. Countless fallen heroes clawed their way out of their graves wearing Black Lantern rings. But these weren't resurrections. They were weapons. Necron used the dead to attack the living, feeding on grief, fear, and loss. As the Black Lantern army spread across the universe, entire worlds fell into chaos. Even beings as powerful as the Spectre struggled against Necron's influence. The more death he caused, the stronger he became.